So after 24 years, they've decided to make a sequel to Space Jam. I don't know why. I don't think the original movie needed a sequel. It was a product of its time. Uh, but this review is about the first movie. I'll be watching the second one later today. Yes, it's yeah. I can understand why people may not like that movie. I can understand where some people can see it as shilling toys or hero worship for Jordan or whatnot. But on the whole, it's a good movie for a kids movie. You know, like the story itself, as silly as it is, but it's Looney Tunes, is strong. You know, now I will caveat that yes, watching the first Space Jam, there was a lot of nostalgia rolling over. It came out 24 years ago. I was in my teenage years. I was also working at the movie theater when this movie came out. So it does have sort of a special place in my past. But putting that aside, it's a fine movie. It's a fine movie. Um, there's a couple of things about it that I was actually kind of shocked about. Uh, Michael Jordan is not bad as an actor in the movie. He's not great. He doesn't exactly emote. But like if you've ever watched SNL where they have athletes on SNL or whatnot, their performances are very wooden. They come out and they do their lines. Okay. You know, Jordan, like actually had a few moments of like, that's a good reaction how he did that. Oh, okay, good. Like he was suitably okay. Um, it is a kids movie, I will admit. So there's a lot of things in the movie that are like adults would be like, oh, really? Okay, whatever. But you know what? There were also times in the movie where I actually chuckled. Good old fashioned Looney Tunes, um, gags and reactions and so forth. I still chuckle at a couple of them. You know, it is very '90s though, very '90s. This movie was definitely made to sell soundtracks. That's for sure. Um, but to be honest with you, the soundtracks didn't really like. They didn't really disrupt from the movie. It's a sports movie. They're given that atmosphere of when you go to a sporting event throughout the entire movie. I get it. I get it. I get it. Um, but overall, I mean, it's been some years since I've seen it, and I think it still holds up as a great, kids film, family film, right? Um, yeah, I will admit, I saw the trailers for Space Jam 2. I cringed a lot. Um, I have, most of the time I don't look ahead, but I already have seen the overall reviews for it. So I'm not really expecting great things out of it. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of not looking forward to seeing it. But I mean, I have to give every movie a half-hearted chance, right? I can't just the critics don't like it. People no, I'm not gonna go see it then. It's a movie that was beloved when I was a teenager. I'll give it a shot, but I don't know how well it's going to prove. Now, granted, I also looked at the reviews for the original Space Jam. They're also low as well, right? So there's a very good chance that I may go into this second movie and be like, it's not bad. It's a family film. It's Looney Tunes. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. We'll see. But as for the original, um, yeah, I still enjoy it. I still think it's a great story. Got some good humor in it. Fun for the whole family. Let's see what the second one can do now. What? Uh, okay. Yeah. So, all right. So I'm back from Space Jam: A New Legacy, and oh, that was a slog to get through. Oh, was that ever a slog? Like, I'm gonna spoil this movie. Probably saying the good things, bad things, the climax, all that type of stuff. I'm warning you not because you should stop the video and go watch it, but because I don't care if I spoil it. Don't go see this movie. Oh. So basically, okay, the movie itself follows the same kind of beats as the first one, but with one main difference. In the first movie, the Looney Tunes are the ones who need help. If for those who haven't seen the first movie, there are some aliens that run an amusement park that the guests at this amusement park are getting bored. So the owner's like, we need new attractions. Let's go get me the Looney Tunes. And Looney Tunes, in their fashion, say, hey, you can't just take us. You have to win us. And they make a key sort of distinction that these aliens that have came to basically kidnap the Looney Tunes were tiny, small aliens. So why not challenge them to a basketball game? I think we could probably wipe the floor with them. And then more shenanigans happen, and they have to call in Michael Jordan to come help them. The structure of why they need to play basketball is there, and how they logically get to it. In this movie, I guess I should just start at the beginning. So, it's similar in the sense of, in the first movie, you had Michael Jordan as a young boy, and he's going to grow up to be great. This one here is the same type of thing. LeBron James, he's a young boy. He's given a Game Boy right before a big game, and he's busy playing that rather than focusing on the game. And that's that. This coach is like, "You got so much greatness in you. You gotta focus. None of this video game garbage." All right, fine. He turns out to be King James. Fast forward, and now LeBron has his own son, who he is now pressuring to. He actually has a couple sons, to be basketball prodigies like he was. But one of his sons doesn't really want to do it. He's a gamer, basically. He's a programmer, and he's made his own video game, his own basketball video game. That's fine, you know. I see the contrast. LeBron was a young kid, and he was into video games, and he lost a basketball game when he was young because of it. I mean, it's not directly correlations, but I see the parallels. Fine. LeBron. Then we are introduced to our bad guy, to our antagonist, basically. Don Cheadle as some algorithm. I know his name was Ali G. Grytham, I think, or something like that. It was a pun on algorithm. Fine, whatever. It's like probably a lot during this review. I'm going to compare it to the first movie because our introduction of our antagonist in the first movie was like, okay, there's this planet. It's an amusement park, and the owner, they need new amusements. This one here just has this algorithm program living in the Warner server verse, I think is what it was. Basically, it is a digital universe where everything Warner Brothers is there. And before I can go any further, I have got to tell you about the mind-numbing product placement, not of other products, but of Warner Brothers itself. They whore themselves out in this movie so much. Other franchises and TV shows and anything to do with Warner Brothers, they whore out in this movie, and it's really obnoxious. Ugh. So in this Warner server verse, there's like planets. There's Harry Potter planet, there's Looney Tunes planet, there's Matrix planet, all these Warner Brother properties. And this algorithm wants to, I guess he's lonely, or wants to get out of this universe, or bring everyone to this universe. And he's going to use LeBron James's social status, his social media sort of presence, to bring everyone to him, and he will be in control, or at least he'll have everyone's attention and all that type of stuff. So he sends out an email to LeBron. Well, actually, he sends an email to Warner Brothers marketing, who they insist, hey, let's get LeBron James on this product that we're adapting, this Warner 3000 universe. I'm assuming it was a video game. No, sorry, it wasn't a video game. It was, it was really stupid. It was a new media where the app itself will digitally copy your face and put you in the movie that you're watching. So the example they have is they had LeBron James is watching this presentation about this new app and whatnot, and they show a bit where Batman, Warner Brother property of course, lands on a roof and he's up against Mr. Freeze, but it's not Mr. Freeze. It's LeBron James in Mr. Freeze's costume, and he defeats Batman, and it's just... Anyways, LeBron's like, stupid, like, no, pass. And he brought his son with him, the one who was the gamer and so forth, to this presentation. I'll go with it. That's kind of odd that he would bring his son on a business meeting, but whatever. And then his son speaks up during the meeting, and LeBron doesn't like scold him, but he does kind of like... So the son leaves. And because this algorithm program kind of has control of everything electronic. When they get in the elevator, LeBron's trying to talk to his son, respect and all that type of stuff, and they send him to the sub basement, which happens to be the server room. And the son, now this I would get is kind of understanding. He's into computers, so he sees this giant server room that just is like endless servers. Oh, what was that? It's almost like I ran out of room on my phone. So anyways, the kid goes into the server room, LeBron follows him, and then, now this happened in the first movie where, shenanigans kind of just pulls a human into an alternate universe. This one here, they just kind of get sucked into the digital world. I'm fine with that. I can go with that. That's not a big deal to me. In the first Space Jam movie, how Michael Jordan goes into Toontown basically is he's bending over to pick up a ball that's in the cup that he just scored a hole in one in, and this lasso comes out of the hole and just sucks him down. I'm fine with that, not a big deal, and so forth. From there, the algorithm, the antagonist, is like, you poo-pooed my idea, and because of that, I'm going to get revenge. You and I are going to play basketball. Okay. Apparently now he challenges them to a basketball game out of no reason. Yes, I of course, I would love to just challenge Bobby Fischer to chess, because I could totally do that. Out of nowhere, he just challenges him to a basketball game, and then throws him into the Warner serververse, and he happens to land on Toontown, or Planet Looney Tune World, I guess they called it. Now in this one here, we need to buy a bit of time because the Looney Tunes aren't there. Bugs Bunny is there, and that's it. And Bugs has to go get the rest of the Toon Squad and so forth. So we spent the next half an hour or so gathering up the Toon Squad. And then it comes to the big game. Now, in the meantime, while we're gathering the Toon Squad, the antagonist is sort of befriending LeBron's son. And that's how he's going to get his revenge. He's going to turn his son against him. And he's going to do it by using this game that his son has programmed. Because the game that he made is a basketball game. But it's not a normal basketball game. It's got like power-ups and style points and all these other type of things in the video game. And then when it comes to the big game, that's what they play. They basically play the video game that the son created in real life. The Toon Squad versus the Goon Squad. One major problem I had with this ball game that they were playing, this basketball game, was they don't establish any rules. Earlier in the film, LeBron is sort of sitting down with his son. He's like, show me this game you're playing. Oh, it's a basketball game. Cool. I'm playing it. Whoa. Why did he score? Why did he do this? But what is all that? And the kid's like, there's power up and there's style points. So, and da-da-da-da. Fine. But when they're playing the real game, there's no rhyme or reason to just tracking the points, right? It just seems like if you do anything with the ball when you have it and then score, you get random points, random certain amount of points. Now, I understand it's a family film. It's a children's film. I get that. And we've established that this video game has rules alternate to basketball. But as a viewer, as a watcher, if our protagonist is an underdog, we need to know why. We need to know what it is they're doing. Either they're doing something wrong, or they have yet to figure out how to overcome the bad guys. But when it's random, when the bad guys are winning because they're just doing random stuff, it is like it frustrates the viewer. And then, of course, in the second half of the basketball game, when LeBron learns to let the tunes be the tunes, because forgot to mention that. In the beginning of the movie, he was down on his son for not being like he wanted him to be. He wasn't going to let his son do video games. He had to go to basketball camp. You're like, this is how it is. Same thing with the tunes, right? Bugs was ready to like let out his entire master plan. And LeBron's like, this is a basketball court. You do as I say. I'm the king here. Blah, 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 blah. And then in the second half, he's like, Bugs, you do you. And so the second half of the game is more Looney Tunes. It's not more, but it's like now they get to use their Looney Tunes powers to score more points. And again, the points are just randomly allocated, right? Like there's no structure. And of course, the tunes win, as I said, spoiler and everything. But in the first movie, there was zaniness during the basketball game, right? But you still got a sense that there was structure to the game they were playing, to the stakes that were set forth, right? Score a bucket, get 2 points. Very simple. How they did that was, yes, zany things and all that type of Looney Tunes stuff, which I honestly enjoyed in the first movie. But this one here, no, there's randomness to scoring a bucket. There's one point in the movie where one of the goon squad is like this spider lady, and she goes up to the bucket with the ball. She gets up on the backboard and slam dunks it with one of her claws, and then catches it with another claw, and then slam dunks it again, and catches it with another claw, and slam dunks it again, and catches it with another claw. And she gains like 300 points. Yeah, this basketball game goes into like quad digits scoring. But that I'm whatever I can live with. But yeah, I feel like they're breaking normal basketball rules because it gets them more points, I guess, to get more tension. Oh, and there's one other thing I need to talk about. So, in the first movie, you had Michael Jordan and Looney Tunes. And for the time, it was very well done. The Looney Tunes were obviously animated characters, and Michael Jordan was basically acting either against people in green suits or to nothing, I don't know. But it was basically a human and an animated world. And it was great. In this one here, when LeBron lands on Looney Tune World, he becomes a cartoon. You know what? I'm fine with that. Him interacting with the other cartoons, I was fine with that. But then when the basketball game, the big game at the end, starts up, the antagonist turns LeBron back into a human, and then he turns all the Looney Tunes, all the cartoons, into this terrifying sort of furry-like creatures. They look so bad, right? Like you know what? They look bad because I knew what they were supposed to look like, right? They tried to take something that is iconic, an iconic animated character, and make it 3D rendering, and it looks bad, really bad. every time a tune was on screen, I was just that's why I walked out of the theater. Oh, it was. I don't know why they did that. Why they couldn't just leave them as animated, right? I mean, maybe it's me. Maybe they're like, "Oh, you're getting old. This is an updated Looney Tunes." No, they look like furries. They look like they like just stepped out of a furry convention. And the rest of the movie itself, at least during the big game and when they were in um, the Warner serververse, is it's all CGI. The whole thing is CGI, and it's so busy. I mean, it's not super busy, but it's really like the screen is just filled with CGI crap everywhere. Oh, it was. I don't mind a full CGI film. I don't mind them being in a CGI film, whatnot. But when you watch a movie, you need focus. You need the eye to focus on something, right? And with stuff going on all over the place in the backgrounds and all that type of stuff, you have trouble focusing on the main story, on a particular character saying dialogue or whatnot, because there's crap going on in the background. Oh, so I just they could have just had a simple background, not plain, and they could have like. There's one point where the antagonist, where Don Cheadle is like upgrading the son, so that he's able to play against his father in the big game, and he's got him on like this pedestal with the ability to change his characteristic statistics. He could change, how he handles the ball and his jump and all that type of stuff. And I'd be fine if it was a simple outlay of, like, this is the stuff, we're going to crank it up to this and so forth. But there's stuff flying around him, unnecessary things that you don't need. We get it. We get where he is. You don't need all this extra CGI splurge all over the place. Oh. Yeah. I did laugh a couple times in the movie. I'm going to spoil a joke. But actually, there's two jokes I'm going to spoil. Because I said, don't go see this movie. LeBron is training the tunes for the game. And he's they're passing the ball. They're each of their characters, each of the Looney Tunes have their own specific characters, and Yosemite Sam comes up, and I think it was Daffy Duck who like passes him the ball and says, "Sam, shoot the ball." He just pulls out his gun and just unloads on the ball. That was a funny joke. That was one of the two things that made me laugh. And then the second one, the one I really got a good belly laugh out of, I'm going to spoil this one here, is it's halftime at the big game. And our protagonist team, our Looney Tunes squads, are dejected because they're losing badly. When, I think it was Sylvester, comes out from like a doorway or whatnot, and he comes out, he's like, "I got a surprise for everyone. I found him in the audience. He's going to help us." Right? And you're like, "Oh, I wonder who this could be." And I'm like, is Michael Jordan going to like make a cameo or whatnot? That would be, as much as I don't like this movie, that would be cool if he did show up just for a cameo in this film. And you see these feet, these big feet walking towards the camera and whatnot. And the camera starts to pan up. And it's a black guy. You see like black legs on shorts and so forth, and it's panning up. And I will admit, I was just like, oh, that would be so cool, right? I don't know. I mean, a lot of times I'm not fond of cameos, but I'd be like, sure, bring Michael Jordan back for a brief cameo. And it was Michael Jordan. Michael B. Jordan, the actor from like Black Panther and Fantastic Four and Creed. That got a big laugh from me. That was a really good good joke. It subverted my expectations. Anyways, yeah, I would not recommend this film. I mean, if you have kids and they know who the Looney Tunes are, sure, you know, put them in the movie theater for a couple hours, you know, um, and it's harmless, you know. You put it on in the background for, or you know, at home while the kids are watching it and you're doing something else, whatever. Not a big deal. But as for a film, as for a predecessor of the original, no, absolutely not. Anyways, I guess that's about it for me. I'll see you guys next time.